What's going on, guys? It's Jimmy here. Everybody is talking about last night, former President Donald Trump on CNN, who spoke in front of tens of millions of Americans. Wow, absolutely crazy. And CNN getting a lot of flack from both Republicans and Democrats for how it went down. And former President Donald Trump was really out there. We'll go over some of the details on that. Also, House Republicans allege that Biden family members received millions of dollars in payments from foreign entities in new bank records reports. This is directly from the House of Representatives. Republicans in the House are doing this through the House of Representatives. So this is like official business. I'll give you the details on this of what they're actually doing in the House of Representatives. So this is big news here as well. I'll give you the details of that here in this video as well. Yeah, CNN takes flack for, quote, chaotic Trump town hall last night. Wow, yeah, it was a little bit chaotic to say the least. Here's a few of the highlights. Take a listen here.
That was a rigged election, and it's a shame that we had to go through it. It's very bad for our country. All over the world, they looked at it.
It was not a rigged election. It was not a stolen election. You and your supporters lost more than 60 court cases on the election. It's been nearly 2.5 years. Can you publicly acknowledge that you did lose the 2020 election?
Let me just go on. If you look at True the Vote, they found millions of votes on camera, on government cameras, where they were stuffing ballot boxes.
Republican officials debunked those claims about fraudulent ballots.
A question to you is, will you pardon the January 6 rioters who were convicted of federal offenses?
I am inclined to pardon many of them. I can't say for every single one, because a couple of them probably they got out of control. What they've done to these people, they've persecuted these people. And yeah, my answer is I am most likely, if I get in, I will most likely, I would say it will be a large portion of them.
I want to get to another voter. Caitlin Boissonneau is a student here at St. Anselm College. She's a Republican. This will be the first election that she has voted in. What's your question for the president, Caitlin?
Hello, President Trump.
Hi.
Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you.
The current administration has made it clear that we should continue to provide military equipment to Ukraine so that they can defend themselves. Do you support this decision, and how would you deal with the increasing threat posed by Vladimir Putin?
First of all, thank you very much. It's really nice. And it's an important question, so important, because we're giving away so much equipment. We don't have ammunition for ourselves right now. We don't have ammunition for ourselves. We're giving away so much. But here's the thing. I have to say it to start off. No longer matters. If I were president, this would have never happened. And even the Democrats admit that. Putin knew it would have never happened. And his pipeline would have never happened. A lot of things would have never happened. But this would never have happened. And all those dead people, both Russian and Ukrainian, they wouldn't be dead today. And all those cities that are blown up and disintegrated right to the ground, that wouldn't have happened. Okay, now, here's the problem. We've given so far $171 billion. They've given, meaning European Union, which is approximately the same size altogether as our economy. They've given about 20. So we're at 170, let's say, and they're at 20. You don't have to know too much about history to realize, or geography, to realize that they're a little bit more affected than we are, okay? So they've got to put up a lot more money because they're taking advantage of us like every other country did. That's why I ended NAFTA and replaced it with the USMCA, Mexico,
But on
Canada.
this issue, Mr. President, I should know, I don't know any Democrats who have said they don't believe Putin would have invaded if you were president. But her question is, would you continue to give Ukraine money and weapons if you're elected? What's the answer?
I have a very good relationship with President Zelensky because, as you know, he backed me up with the phony impeachment hoax #1 when he said the president didn't do anything wrong. So
that was
I happen
when you
to
asked
like.
him for an
So I
investigation
happen
in
to
exchange
like.
for
Yeah, that's right.
weapons.
And I was totally exonerated, by the way. Just a waste of time and money.
You were impeached over that. You
Yeah, I
were
was
impeached over
impeached.
that. But let's stay on topic here, Mr. President, because the question is, would you give Ukraine weapons
I was
and
impeached
funding?
by a crazy woman named Nancy Pelosi.
But the question
who
here
said
is, would you give Ukraine weapons and funding if you were
I
elected?
would sit down. Let me just put it a nicer way. If I'm president, I will have that war settled in one day, 24 hours.
How would you settle that war in one day?
because I'll meet with Putin, I'll meet with Zelensky. They both have weaknesses and they both have strengths. And within 24 hours, that war will be settled. It'll be over. It'll be absolutely
Do
over.
you want Ukraine to win this war?
I don't think in terms of winning and losing. I think in terms of getting it settled so we stop killing all these people and breaking down this country. Now,
What do you? Can I just follow up on that? You
But
said
one
you
of the
don't
things
think
you
in
have
terms
to
of
do is
winning
you
and
have to get
losing.
the- you have
Mr.
to get
President, can I
Europe-
just follow up on that because that's a really important
excuse me,
statement
let me
that
just
you just
follow
made
up.
there. Can you say if you want Ukraine or Russia to win this war?
I want everybody to stop dying. They're dying, Russians and Ukrainians. I want them to stop dying. And I'll have that done. I'll have that done in 24 hours. I'll have it done. You need the power of the presidency to do it.
But you won't say that you want Ukraine to win. You
You
said
know
when
what I'll
you were
say?
in-
I'll
when you
say
were in
this.
office-
I want Europe to put up more money because they're in for 20 billion. We're in for 170, and they
that's not
should
an
be.
answer about who
And
should
they
win
should
the war.
equalize. They have plenty of money. They should equalize. I got with NATO.
But I'm
when I
asking you
sat
about
down, I got
Ukraine
them
right
to
now,
put up
Mr.
hundreds
President.
of billions of dollars that they weren't paying under Obama and Bush and all of these other presidents. That's why they're able to help them fight the war because of the money I got. But I
let's
want
talk about
Europe
what's happening in
excuse
Ukraine,
me,
Mr.
I want
President.
Europe to put up more money because they're laughing at us. They think we're a bunch of jerks. We're spending $170 billion for faraway land, and they're right next door to that land, and they're in for 20. I don't think so.
When it comes to what's happening there, when you were in office, you said that you respected President Putin. Do
Yeah,
you
I do.
still respect him today?
He made a tremendous mistake. He was a smart guy, you know. I remember I said he was smart, she was smart. They
What
said
was his
he
mistake?
said President Xi of China, right, is smart. Okay, 1.5 billion people. He's the ruler of 1.5 billion people. I said, yeah, he's a smart guy. How dare he say he's smart? Of course he's smart. They want you to say he's a stupid person. Okay, he's not a stupid person. He's very smart. He's very cunning. And Putin made a bad mistake, in my opinion.
What was his
It would have,
mistake?
his mistake was going in. He would have never gone in if I was president. We used to talk about it there.
Do you believe that he is a war criminal?
What?
Do you believe that Putin is a war criminal? He's responsible for the deaths of thousands
Well,
of
I think
Ukrainian
this.
men and
I think
women
it's
and
something that
children.
should not be discussed now. It should be discussed later. Because right now we have to get a war. If you say he's a war criminal, it's going to be a lot tougher to make a deal to get this thing stopped. Because if he's going to be a war criminal where people are going to go and grab him and execute him, he's going to fight a lot harder than he's fighting, you know, under the other circumstance. That's something to be discussed at a later date.
But isn't it
Right now,
important
we
to
want
call
to
it
get
what
that
it
war
is?
settled. And I'm not talking about the money either. I'm talking about all the lives that are being, the number of people being killed in that war is far greater than you're hearing. When they blow up a city and those buildings come pouring down and then they say 2 people were injured, no, hundreds and thousands of people are being killed. And we have to get that war settled.
Wow. You can let me know your thoughts on all of that. He does bring up some interesting points about Ukraine and Russia and Europe. I do think, you know, now that he's mentioned it, Europe does need to put in more money. We have put in significantly more money in supplies and weaponry and defense than Europe. That definitely was a good point that he brought up there. But the fact that he's going to end the war in 24 hours if he became president, I just don't even believe that. And I think if he did become president, 24 hours would go by, and then he'd probably just blame it on the Democrats or Biden or something like that. You can let me know your thoughts on this. But the problem with this is that Putin wants like 15% of Ukraine, and even China has trying to go in and broker a peace agreement, and Russia shot down China and said, no, we're not going to go with your peace terms, and because they want Ukraine's land. Ukraine doesn't want to give up their land, so that's the problem, right? In fact, here's an interesting point of view here. Here's a tweet from former New Jersey Governor Chris Christie. In fact, he was governor of New Jersey for 8 years. He's a Republican, okay? This is a Republican governor. He was also United States Attorney for the District of New Jersey for 6 years, okay? So this gives you a counter-Republican point of view. I think he's running for president, or going to be running for president for the Republican Party as well, okay? He says Donald Trump says he would end the war in Ukraine in 24 hours tonight on CNN. Despite how ridiculous that is to say, I suspect he would try to do it by turning Ukraine over to Putin and Russia. Hashtag Putin's puppet. This is a Republican who's running for Republican president. You guys can let me know your thoughts on this. He goes on to say, Donald Trump refused to say tonight that he wanted Ukraine to win the war with Russia. More proof that he continues to be Putin's puppet. You guys can let me know your thoughts on this. He says, more nonsense from Donald Trump last night. Fact, he promised to build a big, beautiful wall on the border. Fact, he did not deliver and immigrants are pouring over the border. Fact, he said Mexico would pay for it. Fact, we have not gotten 1 peso yet. He failed us on immigration. That was also one of the big things there last night. The interviewer lady said that he only built 51 miles of the wall while he was actually in office, and then a bunch of it kind of got built afterwards because they can kind of continue building it there. I actually think that the building the wall was a good thing because look at the immigration problems that we're having and the Title 42 policy that is ending tonight at midnight is an absolute travesty. The wall, helping keep people out, the border is an absolute nightmare, right? Imagine what it would be without the wall. It would be absolutely even worse. How much it has helped, obviously, who would know, right? But obviously, Mexico didn't pay for it, right? That didn't happen. But you guys can let me know your thoughts on this. Also, we have here, I wanted to get to this here. House Republicans allege Biden family members received millions of dollars in payments from foreign entities in new bank records reports, saying House Oversight Chairman James Comer laid out new details to support allegations that members of Joe Biden's family, including his son Hunter, received millions of dollars in payments from foreign entities in China and Romania, including when Biden was president. New bank records cited in the memo were obtained by the committee through a subpoena and include payments made to companies tied to Hunter Biden. Republicans also allege that Hunter Biden used his familial connections to help facilitate a meeting in 2016 between a Serbian running for the United Nations Secretary General and then National Security Advisor to the Vice President Colin Kahl. The foreign payments raised questions about Hunter Biden's business activities while his father was vice president. But the committee does not suggest any illegality about the payments from foreign sources. The bank records by themselves also do not indicate the purpose of the payments that were made. The memo marks Comer's most direct attempt to substantiate his allegations that Biden family members have enriched themselves off the family name. Comer has suggested that Biden may have been improperly influenced by the financial dealings, particularly by his family's foreign business partners. But the latest reports does not show any payments made directly to Joe Biden either as vice president or after leaving office. Comer has been publicly teasing information for months about the paper trail committee Republicans have uncovered through subpoenas sent to multiple banks and trips to the Treasury Department to review records. Comer and other Republicans on the committee held a press conference Wednesday morning to tout their findings, saying, quote, these people didn't come to Hunter Biden because he understood world politics or that he was experienced in it or that he understood Chinese businesses, which, is pretty true. They wanted him for access to his last name, what that gave him, said Representative Nancy Mace, a South Carolina Republican, said during the news conference. In response, a White House spokesman said that, quote, Congressman Comer has a history of playing fast and loose with facts and spreading baseless innuendo while refusing to conduct his so-called investigations with legitimacy. He has hidden information from the public to selectively seek and promote his own hand-picked narratives as part of his overall effort to lob personal attacks at the president and his family. So, this is something that is happening in the Republican-controlled House of Representatives. We will see what happens, but they have a paper trail on this. So, and they're investigating this. They have subpoenaed bank records on this, and there is a paper trail on this. Whether it will lead to anything or not, I will keep you up to date here on everything going on here in our country on a daily basis. So if you haven't yet, make sure to subscribe down below, click the bell icon so you don't miss out on any new videos here that come out here every day at 10 a.m., 3 p.m., and 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Tonight at midnight, the border crisis, Title 42 expires. And in the next video here tonight at 8 p.m., I will have a major update for you guys. So don't miss that video. I'll keep you up to date here. Thanks for liking and sharing these videos here. Here's some videos you should watch next. Here's a major warning, something coming for all 50 states and millions of Americans in this video. And Russia says there is no option left besides nuclear war in this video. So click on one of those videos next. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next video.